Now today, to demonstrate pressing, I just have a simple straight stitch piece of fabric. I stitched a little scrap into. Ignore that. So I just start with it spread out like this, and you open the seam allowances to press those flat. I'm not using a pressing cloth yet, so you can see what I'm doing. I just have my iron set to a medium-high setting because I believe this is cotton. And you just start using just the tip. And you're trying to reshape the fabric so that it lays flat. And you repeat by flipping it over and doing the same thing. And it's important to let it cool in this position because that will make it hold. It's flattened. And you just sort of repeat until the seam allowance seems to become part of the fabric. Sometimes your pattern will have special instructions to trim or to press it in a certain direction. If it has instructions to press it in a certain direction, instead of spreading it flat, you're going to fold one seam allowance over and press it in that direction. A lot of people, after doing this, will trim the seam allowances with zigzag scissors to kind of finish the seam so that it doesn't unravel. After doing that enough times, this will stay in place. And you can do something to trim these or finish them with a zigzag stitch so that they won't unravel as you use whatever project you're working on. Next, I'm going to demonstrate using a pressing cloth. And for my pressing cloth, I'm just using an old t-shirt that I work out in. It's from 2002. Had it quite a while. And I'm using it because it's almost transparent now. You can use like a sheer piece of cotton fabric, but it has to be 100% cotton to ensure that it won't get burned or damaged, because it has to be a completely natural textile. And so what you do is basically repeat what I just did, only with the pressing cloth on top. This fabric doesn't need a pressing cloth because it's cotton, but just to demonstrate. This protects your fabric from getting seared or damaged. You can actually see on my iron a red line from where I did not test a fabric before I pressed it, and it was not press friendly. You can see I'm just doing the same thing again, just with the pressing cloth between my iron and the seam. And using a see-through piece of fabric allows you to still see what you're doing, even though there's a piece of fabric between you and the seam. It's not perfect. And like before, you just repeat this process until the seam lies flat on its own. And you have pressed a seam.